Hello there. What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be building an Inferno squad build today using Tabletop Admiral for Star Wars Legion. If you guys are new here, there's still time left to enter to win the giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment, and then you're automatically entered for that $25 Amazon gift card. And also, if you're interested in supporting the channel, there's going to be tons of links down below for the merch shop, as well as Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, all kinds of links if you're interested in any of that. Be sure to check that stuff out. Okay, so today we're going to be using Tabletop Admiral, and I had been saying that since we got our preview of Inferno Squad that I wanted to do an Inferno Squad build. Now, of course, that's going to need a couple of interesting things. It's going to need Iden Versio, and we're definitely going to want to run Inferno Squad. I'm going to be running two different versions of Inferno Squad, too. We're going to run the Imperial Special Forces Inferno Squad specific build, as well as the Imperial Special Forces full unit. So we're going to do both of those. And there's going to be a couple of differences between them, but for the most part, they're both going to have a lot of the same things. So I'm going to start off with regular Imperial Special Forces. We're going to add them. Let me add both. All right, there we go. So I've got them both added up here to our builder. One of the things we're going to add is we're going to make sure that the regular Special Forces unit is going to have the T-21, because, well, frankly, that's the only heavy available to them once we put Gideon and Hask. Or Gideon, Hask, and Del Meeko, rather, on our regular Inferno Squad build. And for training, since they have marksman, both versions have marksman, both really want to get those aim tokens. We're going to put the two training upgrades that are going to give us aim tokens, which is going to be offensive push, or exhaustible, and then hunter, which, if we're attacking a wounded unit, is going to get us an additional aim token. And that's only going to work sometimes, and then again, also offensive push is only going to work sometimes, like, for example, when we have not used it yet or when we recover. But between the two, we should be able to manufacture aims when we need them. And now also, we'll say that Imperial Special Forces Inferno Squad is going to have the retinue of Iden Versio, so they will also be able to get an extra aim that way. We're going to try to make sure that they can do that, because we're going to include Iden Versio, of course. Another thing is taking a look at Gideon Hask, ability of coordinate for core trooper. One of the things we want to add to this particular unit is we want to add an HQ uplink. And that's going to go into comms. So this way we kind of have an easier way to try to get that whole thing going. And coordinate is going to be real nice, because we're also going to put some fun little things like shore troopers. We're going to need some shore troopers on here. Our shore troopers are going to be both the same, and honestly, I run my shore troopers usually the same way. You don't necessarily have to do it this way, but I'm going to run them each with Imperial Comms Technician and HQ Uplink. Some wrong spot there. There we go. Comms for HQ Uplink. That's going to let them both be able to activate and give orders to the mortars. Give orders to the mortars. I am a poet and I didn't know it. And there we go. So that's going to be 4 core units. And of course, they're not going to be able to do this every turn, because they may not always just be shooting and recovering. And that's, of course, where Hask comes in with his ability to coordinate to them whenever he needs to do that. And then Del Meeko will be not really doing a whole lot with his repair, but he will be... well, he's just awesome. So he's there just to be awesome. Okay, we got to add Iden Versio to this particular list, and Iden is going to come in as our commander. We obviously can change her out. And the cool thing about this also is that if we do drop her as Special Forces, she's now, she can make the Inferno Squad the commander. So she's going to have training. Now, I do want her to have Overwatch, because her 1 pip is going to give her a standby token. So I like the idea of her taking Overwatch, her being that kind of that standby character. She will also get offensive push, the more reliable way to manufacture an aim token. And that's good. Recon Intel is going to be her gear. It's going to help her scout a little bit. For armament, I'm going to give her well, she's going to take both of them technically, but she'll take that one. I'll put the other one down here, I guess. So, yeah. And then counterpart, she's going to have the ID-10 Seeker Droid. Now, we could also put a couple of other training options on here if we wanted to put maybe duck and cover or situational awareness as options down there, but I'm not really worried about that right now because I think these are the two I'll probably most likely go with. All right, so now we're at 652 points. I want to have a little bit more. So we have... there's a couple of things that are going to influence the next couple of units. One of the things is I definitely want her 3-pip to be able to work to make her Inferno Squad Special Forces units have steady. I definitely want that to be able to happen. I'm going to want 3 Special Forces. Now, Death Troopers are a great option. They're already going to work. In this case, though, I want to be able to trigger the Hunter on the other Special Forces units. So I'm going to add a Sniper. So early off in the round for multiple health units and commanders and bounty hunters and other operatives and Wookiees or whatever's out there. I want to be able to put a wound on units fairly early, and I think by going with a Scout Trooper Strike Team, we're going to be able to do that. We'll put the Scout Trooper Strike Team on there, and I'll give them duck and cover to help them stay alive a little bit more. They're going to be getting some sniper shots in. That's going to give me 3 Special Forces. That's going to maximize me there. I don't have any entourage, so I can't put any more than that. We've got Iden. We're going to add 2 more vanilla Stormtroopers for activation padding at this point. And what those Stormtroopers are just going to be objective holders and kind of helping us have the flexibility, hopefully, to be able to move our Special Forces into position last, so this way we can, when we do want to play that 3-pip and big power cards like that, we can do that. Plus, it's good to have some people that you can afford to just kind of set them on objectives. At this point, we've got 8 points left, and we're going to add a few extra optional upgrades, and this is where some of this kind of helps out a little bit. So we've got... let's see, Imperial Special Forces. That's the full unit, and then we've got that unit. So I think for the Imperial Special Forces Inferno Squad, I think that's about all we wanted to put on there. They should not have comms relay, though. We should have HQ uplink. I put the wrong upgrade on there. All right, and that puts us up to 797. And I've got a little bit more. Now, we could stop here at 797 for a bid, if we would like, but I usually don't like to bid. I like to go. So if you're like me and you don't want to bid, sometimes people who want to bid will go even lower. Like they may drop HQ uplink off of one of these short troopers for like a 787 bid, which is a pretty strong bid. You could absolutely do that. I don't even think you need HQ uplink on both of the shore troopers. If you were going for a bid, this is where I would stop. I would drop one of those HQ uplinks, let Hask be able to coordinate him, and you still have a pretty good activation control that way. But if you're not worried about a bid, maybe take one of these other Imperial Special Forces that have infiltrate and give them recon intel. And now all of a sudden you can have a better time getting to objectives at 799. And that's kind of where I'll stop for right now. So you could go either way. You could go for the 787 bid or go for 799, whichever you prefer. Or somewhere in between. Maybe change something up a little bit more. For command cards, this one is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to go down. We've got Tactical Strike. This is definitely crucial, where you got to have this one. This is like what this list is kind of built around. So Iden Versio absolutely wants this one. And this one could be even better if you're going to run 3 Inferno squads, but I don't think there's going to be that many of those. Or these are also really good if you want to sprinkle in some Death Troopers in there as well. Absolutely great options to have. I think Coordinated Fire totally works here. I think it absolutely does, because you've got 4 core units, so you're going to have options to make it work. And this also is a great way to manufacture extra aim tokens for all of those marksman units that you're going to have. So that's a great way to run things. For our 2 pips, we're not going to use pinned down because we can't even use that at all. But I think we can probably justify going with incapacitate and even and even Concussive Blast. We've got enough HQ uplinks out there where we can afford to have our 2 pips only give orders to Iden Versio. Of course, that does hurt if Iden gets killed. So if I am running Iden, I need to stop trying to put her out in the open with Infiltrate, because I don't want to lose half my command cards that way. We're obviously going to use Pulse Scan. Great card for Iden. We'll put that one in there. That one is no problem. And I was looking at Ambush, but then I said, you know what, this would be a great opportunity to use this card that I've never ever wanted to use before. But now all of a sudden, I think there's actually a good reason to use it. We're starting to get to a point in the game now where you don't know what cards people are going to choose. And especially with things like R2-D2 that come in, and then you got Cassian and Iden that had odd, strange numbers of command cards and things like that. You now have some really some curious decisions. So maybe Covert Observation is going to have its value increased a little bit, and on top of that. A special forces or operative unit, you can have plenty of those. So it's really not even a problem. Like, this is your opportunity cost here is that you lose the flexibility to give this to a core in theory or a commander. But since you got so much HQ uplink anyway, it's not that much of a problem. This is a perfect fit for this particular build. So we're gonna go with Covert Observation as our other 1 pip, and that gives us our command hand, and that is the build. I'll put this build down in the description below. As far as I haven't not doing the whole battle plan cards, because I think in this particular case, you're gonna basically want those cards, those objectives and stuff that involve benefit Infiltrate. So you recover the supplies and things like that. I think are going to be the ones that generally tend to work out a little bit better. And that's going to do it. All right, well, let me know what you guys think. This was just kind of like my first stab at an Inferno Squad build. I'm sure this will evolve over time. My biggest conundrum with this build was wanting to get Death Troopers in there, but at the same time, if I did that, I wasn't going to have enough points to have good activation count. And so I was like, do I really want like a 7 activation list if I have to run Death Troopers, right? And like the only way to really get around that would it be as if I ran a whole bunch of like naked core, and I'm like, I don't know if it's really worth it because the shore troopers are so good. It's hard to not run them. So that's something that may evolve over time. But I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to share the video, click the bell for alerts. Check out those links down below. Big thanks to my patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing and definitely help make this all possible. So thank you all so much for your continued support. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And as always, have a great day.